There's something about vampires that have always sparked our fascination. The allure, the danger, the darkness. But what if the vampire was no longer a distant foreign creature, but something more human? What if that vampire was real? The 2024 remake of Nosferatu takes us on a haunting journey through lust, dread, and of course, blood. But does it live up to its legacy? Or is it just another victim of overhype? Let's dive in. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Harrison Knight, and today we're talking about Nosferatu, the 2024 remake that's been making its waves with a fresh take on a classic story. In this video, I'll break down what I loved about this eerie retelling, standout performances, and some moments that didn't hit quite as hard as they could have. And of course, I'll tell you my rating at the end, so stick around for that. But before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more reviews of all things creepy, thrilling, and cinematic. Okay, let's start things off with what really worked in this version of Nosferatu. Let's start with the cast. Bill Skarsgård's performance as Count Orlok is without a doubt one of the most mesmerizing performances I've seen in a long time. Okay, yeah, sure, we know him from It, but here he just completely transforms into a creature of the night. Devoid of humanity, but strangely magnetic. What I love most about his performance is how he balances that eerie, unsettling presence with moments of vulnerability. It's creepy, but it also makes you wonder, is there more to Count Orlok than meets the eye? And that voice, it still gives me chills. But I really think Bill has the makings to become a horror legend. And let's talk about Lily Rose Depp as our protagonist, Ellen. Her chemistry with Skarsgård is electric, but also deeply tragic. Their relationship has this beautiful, twisted, erotic tension that permeates throughout the film. And honestly, that's one thing that I really appreciated about this version. It doesn't just settle for traditional horror tropes. It mixes in this eerie yet sensual romance that adds a whole new layer to the narrative. Willem Dafoe also deserves a mention. Dafoe's presence is always captivating, and in Nosferatu, he delivers a performance that adds a rich layer of dread to the atmosphere. Honestly, the acting all around was stellar. The entire cast brought their A game, making their characters feel alive, even if they technically aren't. Speaking of atmosphere, the cinematography in this film is downright breathtaking. The use of shadows and lighting is masterful, and the tone throughout is one of pure dread. There's this constant tension in the air, as if danger is always lurking just beyond your line of sight. It's not about jump scares here. It's about that feeling that something's not right here, and that lingers in every frame of the film. Now let's talk about Count Orlok's new look. Gone is the classic Nosferatu appearance, and in its place, we get a more sleek, modern design. Now, I won't spoil too much, but I will say this. The transformation is both chilling and strangely seductive. There's something almost demonic to him, but at the same time, he's undeniably intriguing. I think this was a smart choice. The redesign makes him feel fresh, yet still rooted in that classic vampiric energy. It's a look that's just unsettling enough to give you nightmares, but still invites you to look closer. But here's where things get a little tricky. As much as I love the performances, the tone, and the visuals, there were some pacing issues that I just couldn't ignore. Not everything needed to be as slow as it was. Parts of it definitely dragged. I think it just took a little too long to get to some of the more thrilling moments. I think they could have just tightened up a little bit more. By the way, there's a spoiler in this next part, so if you haven't seen the movie or don't want the ending ruined, please skip ahead in the video. The pacing wasn't my biggest gripe. That honor goes to how easily Nosferatu was defeated. I won't give away too much, but the resolution felt a bit too convenient. I mean, they built up this terrifying villain that I expected an intense, dramatic conclusion, but what we got just felt a little underwhelming. But there's one moment that absolutely makes this movie. The scene where Ellen and Orlok have their final confrontation. The mix of terror, Tragedy and passion in that sequence is something you don't often see in vampire films. It's haunting, it's beautiful, and it's exactly the type of scene that elevates the movie to something truly special. It's the kind of moment that stays with you long after the credits roll. This is where the film really shows its strength, not just in horror, but in storytelling. So what's the final verdict? Nosferatu delivers on atmosphere, performances, and it's a fresh take on a classic, but it's not without its flaws. The pacing in the final act could have been better, but overall, it's an eerie, captivating experience that I think is worth your time, especially if you're into darker or more atmospheric horror. I'm giving this one a solid 4.3 out of 5. It's not perfect, but it's a film that definitely leaves an impression. What did you think of Nosferatu? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay spooky.